Good evening, everybody. It is Wednesday night here in Manhattan. We're at the Moynihan train station. We're going to be walking around for a little bit. We were going to be down on Wall Street as well as Broadway to check out the Mighty Bull, but we will do that tomorrow night. But the biggest news of the night is Bitcoin has reached new all-time record highs, as we talked about in the Behind the Street newsletter. So new all-time record highs for Bitcoin. I believe we touched 67,000. So that is good news, and congratulations to anybody who is holding that Bitcoin. Hey, Laytha's in the house says hey. Ken Kramer, how are you? Amir, always good to see you. Hunter Butler is our good pal. MB, Melissa White, D Street Media says Skate Bro, and Soho guy is here in the house. Sunshine After Rain, Troy 1995, Ken Kramer. Dean MB, how are you? Destruction, this is happy Wednesday. We've made it over the hump. What is up, Destructionist? Soho guys is so glad I have my BTC. To the moon indeed. Congratulations, everybody. New all-time record highs for Bitcoin. New all-time record highs. And the S&P 500 is a hair away from an all-time record high. Paul Greenwell, how are you, sir? Hope you're well. Melee, always good to see you. Yen 10 is in here. Hope everybody had a great, productive Wednesday so far. Elena Delgado says, hi, good evening. Go Bitcoin, indeed. The Aviator says, hello from Greater Cleveland, Ohio. What another wonderful, chilly day. Storm Chaser says, I'm here. Amir says, back to Lexington Avenue. No, we are near the Moynihan train station. Herbert says, finally got a notification. Hey, Herbert, hope you're well. Oh, our pal Paul Greenwell is not feeling very well, Tom. Hope you feel better, Paul. Hope you feel better. The Empire State Building looks absolutely gorgeous tonight. It is a bright green color. Bright green color, very beautiful. Troy 1995. Good to see you. Sunshine After Rain. Everybody, what's going on? Obama says, don't put your Bitcoin into Mt. Gox. Yeah, I'll remember that. So everybody, we were supposed to be downtown on Wall Street. However, change of plans. Big day today for me. I was very, very busy in between meetings. I had to take clients out to eat, the whole dog and pony show. But it went good. Latho says the green is for money. Yeah, the Empire State Building is lit up green for those new all-time record highs, guys. So I think we surpassed 67,000 US dollars per Bitcoin. So maybe in 10 years, we'll look back on the stream and we'll do another $650,000 Wall Street Skate Bro live stream. And we'll play a little bit of the clip from this video. So looking forward to that. Tony Cortez, how are you? Troy 1995 says Tom is in charge of the color. I wish. Tony Cortez says, hello, everybody from Bakersfield, California. Tony, good to have you here. We are here by the new Moynihan train station. And you could actually see into the windows as the Starbucks we're looking at right there in the brand new train station. Brooklyn is here, good to see you. Obama says, did you see Paul Tudor Jones on CNBC? I did see Paul Tudor Jones on CNBC, and he was talking about the biggest threat to retail investors or the average everyday household is inflation. And I think I would have to agree with our pal, Paul Tudor Jones. Amir, how are you? Melissa White, how are you? Paul Greenwell says, wow, Tom, 5K, that's amazing. Oh yeah, everybody. So we hit 5,000 subscribers on the channel. Really, really amazing stuff. So I just want to, express my gratitude to everybody for supporting the channel, for joining in the conversations. And I really, really do appreciate everybody that's been watching the channel, supporting, joining the live streams, reading the newsletters, and just joining in the conversation about finance and technology every night on the stream. So thank you, everybody, for 5,000. If it wasn't for the viewers, there would be no stream. So you guys are what make it so far from everybody. So thank you, everybody. This is pretty cool. And here's to the next 5,000. Hey, Sierra Friend is here. What's going on, Sierra Friend? Grant Stetton says, good day, Tom from New Zealand. Love New Zealand, Grant. The Canada says Tom Night Show. What's up? This is Canada. Hunter Butler says, are you happy you're back in New York City? I am happy to be back. I'm definitely happy to be back. Charlie Richardson says, hi Tom, how are you? The Aviator says, I've only been a part of the channel for about a month and 9 days, but you're welcome. Always good to have you here, The Aviator. Charlie, thank you for the congratulations. Destructionist says now everybody has to hit the like button. Elizabeth, how are you? Good to see you, Elizabeth. Says congratulations, Tom. That is awesome. Thank you, Elizabeth. Hope everybody's well. Good to see everybody. See our friend Destructionist. Sunshine After Rain. The Swan, Paul. Hope everybody's good. Beautiful, beautiful night in New York City. It's actually pretty hot. I'm sweating. I had to wear my, not my winter jacket, but I would say my fall jacket tonight and in the morning, because this morning is, or was, kind of cold. Arctic 10 says today is exactly 6 months before 420. Is that why the tower is green? Maybe, perhaps. Charlie Richardson says, you're happy, your channel grew really fast. I'm happy about that, thank you. Anna says, hi Tom, yay, congrats. Appreciate that, Anna. Hope you're well. Hope you're well, everybody. We're at the Moynihan train station. We were supposed to be downtown on Wall Street tonight, but it was just too late. I got out of work way too late. I had to take some clients out for dinner, you know, do the whole dog and pony show, entertaining everybody. So, you know, it's neither here nor there. So hopefully tomorrow we can get back down to Wall Street. And I want to check out the Mighty Bull. So right on Broadway, they have the Mighty Bull. And they also have a new ape, like a gorilla. They put a gorilla, Harambe or whatever it's called, right next to the Mighty Bull with a bunch of bananas. So we're gonna check it out. Wifey 1995 is here. What's going on? Penelope says hi everybody and congrats Tom. What's up Penelope? Always good to have you here and thank you for watching. BR says you're back in New York. We are back in New York. I will be going back to Miami though on Monday. So crazy. I'm going back to Florida on Monday. But today, I met with my client, and he's like, hey, I want you back here to present this same exact thing on Wednesday of next week. And I'm like, oh my God. So I'm probably gonna have to fly back to New York again for one day to give the same presentation to a different VP. Whatever, we'll do it. We'll get it done. No complaints. The Swan, good to see you. Latha says Harambe from the Cleveland Zoo, I think. R.I.P. Harambe. Yeah, they definitely did our pal Harambe dirty. Not a big fan of what they did. And they killed Harambe on my birthday, so that's always a big Debbie Downer. Bowser says, hey Tom, how can I be able to send a sticker money to you? Bowser, you don't have to send me any money, man. I just appreciate you being here. And I appreciate talking to you, Bowser, and I think you're the best. MB says, can't you do the presentation online? Says, but it's just a different experience being with people. And I think a lot of, everybody wants to get back to the office now, from what I'm hearing. Trevor says Cincinnati Zoo. Yes, they killed their pal Harambe, which is terrible. It's really disgusting what they did. The Aviator says, I think I saw the Mighty Bull on the first ever stream of yours I ever saw. Yes, so the Mighty Bull is one of my favorite places in New York City. The Mighty Bull says the gorilla is gone. Fernando was there today. Oh, that's a big bummer. I wanted to see that. Brandy says, hey Tom, hope you're well. I am very, very well. Quant says, deal you steal. Any deals tonight? What's up, Quant? Priscilla says, hey there. Jerry says, sorry, my English is very bad. My English is not too good either, man. So all good, all good. Michael F says, good evening. Sabrina says, hi Tom. Darren, another great stream. Indeed we are. Anna says, proud of you. Do you deserve the best for your business? Thank you, Anna. Appreciate that. I want to make sure I'm not missing any comments. Deborah S says, I'm eating Fritos and watching. The Mighty Bull says, good evening, Tom. Good to see you again. Congratulations on 5,000 subscribers. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. RJ, how are you? Thank you so much. RJ is our good pal from Colorado. So we're just gonna do a quick lap. I wanna go through Koreatown one more time. I mean, Koreatown is one of my favorite places in New York. Let's walk around Koreatown. But the main theme of this channel, and as we've been talking about, especially in the newsletter that comes out every Sunday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I've been saying, I'm like, look, Bitcoin is going to reach new all-time record highs. We just got a brand new all-time record high on Bitcoin today. So congratulations to everybody. So hopefully in the future, maybe in 10 years when we hit 650K, we'll look back on this stream celebrating 65,000. So pretty cool. Ryan Royal says, good evening, Tom. Good evening, all mods and everybody. What's up, Ryan? What's up, Ryan? The Aviator says, oh yeah, I went to Koreatown when I went to New York City for summer vacation. That's great. How'd you like it, the Aviator? Orlin Edwards is our favorite school teachers in the house. Daryl says, hello from Chicago, Illinois. What's up, Daryl? The one and only Disney cast member, Disney, once again, thank you so much for that gift that you sent to me. I appreciate it immensely. I'm so very much appreciative of your work that you sent me. So if anybody doesn't know, Disney cast member, great fellow person in the channel, fellow Long Islander, by the way. She runs an Etsy store, has some fantastic crafts, earrings, whatever you want, she'll make it. She does it. She's fantastic, one of the best. And she sent me my favorite building, the Seagram building, is on Park Avenue, and sent me some fantastic little gift there. So I'm very appreciative. Thank you, Disney cast member. And if anybody wants some cool stuff, contact our pal Disney cast member. She has a very cool Etsy store. Appreciate it, Disney cast member. Thank you so much. Yeah, and it'll be good to put in the house in Florida, you know, bring a little bit of New York back to Florida. So here we are at our favorite place, the Billy Joel. Madison Square Garden is the center of the universe as far as I'm concerned, according to our pal, the Billy Joel. MB says I would have to check out her Etsy store. Yeah, so if anybody, one of the moderators, a Disney cast member, definitely plug your store in the comments. In the comments. Hey, Melanie Sam is here. Says so pretty tonight. It's a very nice night in Manhattan. Very beautiful night in Manhattan. Obama says, why do central banks buy gold? Little guy buys Bitcoin. Probably for regulatory reasons. Hey, EBITDA is here. What's up, EBITDA? Says, remember Fish played 17 shows in a row, which is the record. EBITDA, hope you're well. Hope you're well, EBITDA. Good to have you here. EBITDA is our investment banking pal, works for Bank of America Merrill Lynch. Hope you're well. Al J says, hi, Tom and everybody. Mighty Bull says, greetings to all moderators and friends. Priscilla says, New York looks super packed right now. Yeah, I'm not sure. Is there a Knicks game going on tonight? Does anybody know? I saw a lot of people in front of Madison Square Garden with a bunch of Knicks jerseys on. So potentially there's a Knicks game. I'm not too sure about that though, but probably. But yes, EBITDA, we actually did cover in detail last week all the financial earnings. So we talked about JP Morgan, Bank of America Merrill Lynch. We covered their better than expected deal revenue in terms of M&A, better than expected credit card spending. And ever since financial earnings came out, you know, the S&P has pretty much been off to the races, just a hair off of all-time record highs. And we had Tesla reporting today, which came better than expected. Their EPS or their gross margins, I think, actually came in at 30%, including credits, including carbon credits. However, excluding carbon credits, I think the margins were still like 28% or something crazy like that. So Paul Greenwell says, yes, Tom, they are facing Boston. Ah, okay. Thank you, Paul. Charlie says, yep, Knicks and Celtics are playing right now in Madison Square Garden. Brian B says Tom Hawk. What's up, Brian? Hope you're well, Brian. Good to see you. Long time no see. Kenneth says Bob's stream must have just ended. Hey, our friend Boogie Bob. Kenneth, hope you're well. Solo 401 says they're here for you, Tom. Solo, what is up? Brittany McMurdy, the one and only, says New York looks very good tonight. Very good tonight. EBITDA says, yeah, you see BAML earnings. We did pretty good. The deal I was stuck on forever, Lucid CCIV, only helped. Oh, cool, EBITDA. That's sick. You worked on that deal? That's really interesting, dude. That's awesome, man. EBITDA says, aren't the carbon credits the majority of the revenue? They're not the majority of the revenue. So Elon Musk essentially promised investors or signaled to analysts that they'd be at 30% margins by the end of this quarter without credits. They came in just shy of that, 28% margins, which is still very good, by the way. Being that you could perform those type of numbers in a global pandemic, but with credits, 30% margins. So I think it's a solid quarter. A lot of people are hating on it. I think it's a solid quarter. I give it the 2 thumbs up. Original Official says, greed, for lack of a better word, is good, Wall Street / Bud. You mark my words, greed will not only save this market and this channel, but it will also save the bankrupt biz called the USA, says Original Official. Well, very interesting take. I respect it. And thank you for being here. Obama says Southwest Air CEO backed down over the V. I really want to talk about that, but I don't think we can. I think the YouTube overlords will demonetize us guys. EBITDA says Wall Street Scaperow, did they sell their Bitcoin stake or was that a recent pump to add? I think Elon Musk said he sold some of it, but if you really think about the implications of Tesla buying $1 billion worth of Bitcoin, it's negligible in terms of their overall revenue. So I don't think that had any real impact on the market. But we got new all-time record highs. And Michael Saylor, which is the CEO of MicroStrategy, pretty much made the best trade in modern history of any CEO, loading up Bitcoin on the balance sheet. So new all-time record highs. I believe we touched 67,000, if I'm not mistaken. So hopefully, in 10 years, when we get to 650,000, I'll take a little excerpt out of this stream and we'll have to replay it. So that'll be fun. Let me make sure I'm not missing any of the comments. Hey, William Creech is here. Says, good evening, everybody. Gene says, Wall Street Scaperow, good evening. Tom, sir, your body probably had to get used to the current cold of New York. So in the morning, it was a little bit cold, Gene, but now it's actually, I'm sweating a little bit. Jimmy Anderson, the one and only, says, cheers, Tom. Awesome seeing you live again. My Red Sox got killed, but awesome seeing you with the awesome views again. Hey, Jimmy, I think the Boston Celtics, according to people in the stream, are playing here at Madison Square Garden right now, the Knicks. Not a big basketball fan, so, whoever you're rooting for, I'm with you. EBITDA says, but did he buy at like the upper 20s? And is that, hold on, comments, mid 60s now, that 1 billion is 3 billion. Yeah. Michael Saylor, even more. I mean, that's insanity. If you think about, his profit on that is probably dwarfs his overall profit of his company in the last 2 years. Solo 401 says, go Celtics. Let's not talk about that too loud. I think all these New Yorkers are probably going to start to jump me. Original Official says, Wall Street Scaperow, I heard a big buyer bought large blocks of Bitcoin. His name is Gordon Gecko. Hello from Russia, Kazan City. What's going on? EBITDA says, yeah, I don't know about the Curry comment from earlier. I am all for capitalism, tax loopholes, but no need to be super greedy, just my opinion. I agree, EBITDA. I agree. Maybe Original Official was quoting a quote from a movie, I think. Isn't that from Wall Street, that movie? Something like that? Jimmy Anderson says, awesome dude, not a huge basketball fan until the playoffs, but enjoy watching and thanks for the beer and bet shout outs, no problem. Gene says, Wall Street Scaperow, cool. I'm glad the temperature has improved for you and New Yorkers now. The one and only Joe Hernandez is here, says, hi, Tom. Hey, we have War Walker here. Says, nighty night, Tom. So good to hear you and see you in the Big Apple. Thank you. Appreciate it. I live in New York City, says Jimster Matt. What's up, Jimster Matt? Good to see you. Laytha, how are you? What is up, William Creech and everybody? Obama says carbon credits equal scammers. Yeah, that has been extremely controversial in regards to Tesla, right? Because essentially what everybody's saying is the only reason why Tesla is surviving is because they're leeching off the government with all these credits. That, I mean, look, I would rather help a company like Tesla that's actually trying to improve in the environment and improve the world than like an oil and gas company. That's just my opinion. You know, I know it's very controversial, but we'll see. Two Wheel Pine says, hey Tom, glad to hear it's going well between Miami and New York. Awesome to see both places. Thank you, Two Wheel Pines. MB says, where are we headed off to tonight? We may go to Central Park. We may go to Central Park tonight. The Swan says, so much color in New York City. Original Official says, Wall Street Scape-Bro, if you want to strike it big in the market, you got to invest in tech. I'm telling you, bud, we are moving into a new era in the new world. With tech is everything. Even my son can work with his computer. I think I would have to agree with you. I do work in the tech sector. That is where I work, in tech sales, enterprise tech sales. So I do know a thing or two about tech, and I would have to agree with you, Original Official. I think one of the biggest things, or the biggest break, I should say, it really started with Salesforce, really pioneering this SaaS model, or software as a service model. Because one thing about Wall Street is that they like reoccurring revenue models, right? Wall Street really doesn't like companies, or they don't really like to favor companies that sell a product one time and then that's it. So that's why all of these tech companies trade at premium valuations or multiples of their earnings, many multiples of their earnings. And that's why you see a lot of these tech companies with sky high PE ratios, because Wall Street is willing to pay for the consistency of those revenue streams and the consistency of those earnings. So if I'm Salesforce and $1 a month, you know, you're going to ring that register $1 million a month in perpetuity for the life of that customer. Because it's not like back in the day where you bought the software, you know, on a floppy disk, you pop it into the computer and it's a one-time hit. You know, Mark Benioff really pioneered the as a service model, subscription base. So Wall Street really likes predictable revenue streams. So a lot of the times when we're building these financial models, the biggest piece that goes into it in terms of like a software company or something like that is their retention ratio, right? If you have a very high retention ratio and your product has ridiculous margins, you know, some of these SaaS companies can have 80% margins, which is insanity to think about, but it's true. Hey, we have Out and About here, our pal from Toronto, Canada. Always good to see you out and about. Hope you're well. Says, good evening, happy Wednesday night. Congratulations on 5,000 subs. Thank you, Out and About. I appreciate you very much. Says, hello, my friend. Says, Nacion. What's up, Nacion? Gene says, Wall Street Scape-Bro, be careful walking in Central Park at night. Try to isolate yourself in the park. We'll try to do our best in isolation. Sean Davis says, hey, bro, back from sunny Florida. Good to see you back in the Rotten Apple. We are. Thank you, Sean. Solo 401 says, nuts. Obama says, NSA backs big tech for keys to backdoor. Ian Taylor says, evening, Tom, from the land of kangaroos and koalas. We love Australia here. Kenneth says, Tom got 5,000 subs. Got to celebrate with some dollar slice. We will celebrate with the dollar slice. There's some good dollar slice places near Grand Central Station. Very good dollar slice. Joe Hernandez says, tech is the foundation of the future and investments. I agree. Caddy says, can you see the moon? It's supposed to be a full moon tonight. We'll check it out. We'll check it out. Obama says Amazon gets tons of cash from AWS. Yes, that is true. AWS is their cloud platform, so Amazon AWS. Fred T says the credits are minimal. The credits are minimal. Oh, hey, what's up?
I'm spying.
Oh, what's going on? How are you?
Are you streaming?
Yeah, we are. Are you streaming too?
Yeah, I'm streaming too.
Oh, that's dope. Yeah, we're talking about the software company. So Tesla reported earnings today, so we're talking about.
Can you say, "Hey, I'm walking here"?
I'm walking here.
Say it with more passion.
I can't say what. Are you a streamer?
Yeah, I'm streaming.
Oh
Wanna
yeah.
Say hi to
Oh
my
dope.
stream?
Yeah. Hey, I think we have a fellow streamer here.
Hi.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Oh, a Twitch streamer.
Yeah.
Oh, that's dope. Cool.
What are you on?
We only stream on YouTube, so we have like a.
YouTube.
Yeah,
Okay.
we have a small channel where we talk about like finance and stuff like that. So we just walk around and skateboard around the city. But I don't have my skateboard today because I'm in my business stuff. Yeah.
Oh,
But, yeah, it's nice meeting you.
This is like a professional streamer.
No, not a professional streamer at all. No, not at all.
Yeah, I don't do anything that cool. Well, we were just talking about the accents.
Oh, New York accent, right? Okay, cool.
I've been practicing.
Where are you from? Where are you visiting from?
I'm from Canada.
Oh, dope. Yeah, we have a ton of Canadians in the stream.
Oh, really?
Yeah, from like Toronto, Canada, everywhere.
I'm from Vancouver.
So. Oh, nice. So everybody, this is a fellow streamer.
Hi,
from
I'm Fan. Nice
Vancouver.
to meet you.
Yeah, so if anybody has Twitch, I don't have Twitch, but yeah, we're just on
this
YouTube.
Is really cool. The gimbal.
Oh yeah, cool.
What's your YouTube?
It's Wall Street Skate Bro.
Wall Street Skate Bro.
Yeah.
Wall
So.
Street Skate Bro.
Yep.
You guys can check it out.
Yeah. So we mainly just either skateboard around New York City, but now we're back and forth between Miami because I moved down there for work.
Oh, that's so cool.
But yeah, we'll have the skateboard. We'll skateboard around and talk about finance. That's really about it.
I've met all the New York streamers I've met so far. They either like bike around or skateboard.
Oh really?
around.
Oh, that's dope. Yeah. Action Kid is the biggest one. He's a very nice guy. Great. I think you have Fernando, Super Friends in the City, Boogie Bob, all those guys, walking commuters. So yeah, they're great. It's awesome. Well, it was
Cool.
very nice meeting
to
you.
meet you too.
Enjoy New York City.
Thank you.
Yeah, have a good one.
Thanks.
See you later. She was nice. So yeah, I don't have Twitch, so I do not know who that is, but she was very nice. So shout out to everybody from Canada. Hey, Darren Robinson says hello from Sydney, Australia. The Swans is the only Twitch I have is in my eye. Hilarious. Her name is Fan. Oh, cool. That's dope. That's awesome. Juan Gotti says, hey, I'm walking here. What's going on, Ron Gotti? Juan Gotti, any relation to John Gotti? John Gotti is very... I think the Gotti family grew up near me in Massapequa, New York. Hey, NYC 97 is here. Long time no see, man. Hope you're well. Yeah, Juan Gotti. Any relation to John? So the Gotti family, I believe, moved to Massapequa, the Massapequa Shores. So there's a lot of mobsters in the Massapequa Shores.
Stay hot! Stay hot!
Obama, how are you? Darren Robinson says, hi, Tom. It's great to see you back in New York. Thank you so much. Oh, EBITDA. You know what? I think you're right. I think you lived in Howard Beach. So Howard Beach has a lot of beautiful houses. And I guess the main theme is that there was a lot of like Italian mobsters in that area. I think you're right, but I think there was some mobsters that also lived in like the Massapequa Shores, because if anybody takes the Long Island Railroad and gets off at Massapequa and you go to the Massapequa Diner, you can order the Capone omelet, Al Capone omelet, which is actually my go-to when I go to the Massapequa Diner. I get the Capone omelet, Al Capone. I think Al Capone is the one who lived in Massapequa. EBITDA says Howard Beach, Bath Avenue, Bensonhurst, Ozone Park were big with mob activity. Yeah, and also in the construction business, right, EBITDA, with all the racketeering and all that stuff. Peter says South Shore, New Jersey is where they are. Okay. Isn't that a constellation on the right, says the Aviator. So I actually don't believe, and somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, in New York City, I don't think you can actually see any stars in Manhattan because of the light pollution. I could be wrong about that, but I think anything that you see that's in the sky is only satellites, because there's way too much light pollution to be had. It says, hey, anybody from Brazil? What's up, everybody from Brazil watching the stream? Hope you're well. EBITDA says they ran a lot of unions, iron workers, plumbers, windows, etc. Yeah, so my family when they came to the United States, came here through Ellis Island. And we were in the speakeasy business. So during Prohibition, my great-grandfather actually owned a couple speakeasies near Times Square. And my grandmother actually told me that her father would walk across the Brooklyn Bridge or across the bridge to work. Isn't that insanity? All the way from Ozone Park. That's where my grandmother's from, Ozone Park. So everybody, check out the Empire State Building with the clouds. The contrast is insanity. Beautiful tonight. The Swan says, I thought I didn't miss New York City after watching Miami streams. I'm all mixed up. Caddy says Teamsters. Yes, the Teamsters. So your family was Jewish? No, my family is not Jewish. We are from Ireland, County Mayo, Ireland, and then the other side of my family, I believe, is from Naples. Joe Hernandez, the one and only Joe Hernandez, says, true, Tom, you have to go upstate to see the stars. Okay, yeah, anything like Poughkeepsie. My brother went to Cornell University, and up there is absolutely gorgeous to see stars. Roy DeMayo says, I lived in Massapequa. I'm from Massapequa as well. Ibida says, love these New York City streams. We'll miss them. I will too, Ibida. Linda Ameo says, hi there, Tom. Very lively night in New York. Yeah, isn't there like a lot more people than usual? I think it's because all of the college kids are back. So there's probably a lot of NYU students. So check out the moon in the clouds tonight, everybody. Beautiful there. Hey, Lisa N says hello from Twitch. Oh, so yes, that was the Twitch streamer. I forgot her name. Very nice. So check her out if you want to rewind the stream. I believe she's from Vancouver, Canada. So we love Canada here. We love Canadians. The border's opening back up. So I hope she has a great time in New York City. Hey, M. Sai is here. This is awesome view. Do you only stream in the city? No, we stream from Miami, Florida. I actually just moved to Miami, Florida. This is a very full moon. Hey, Cosmo's here. Cosmo, our Baruch, our fellow CUNY student. What's going on? Kevin Sunderland says, moon looks like a bat signal. Brito says, hello from Brazil. Very good. Disney cast member says, Tom, my family is from County Mayo as well. Wow. Guess the Swan blocked me. I don't see his comments. So the Swan is called Thos now. I think he changed his name. So if you see Thos, that is the Swan. New York or Miami, hot takes, LOL. Modern Picasso says, I came from her channel as well. Just subscribe to your YouTube. Hey, thank you.
I did.
I never got into streaming on Twitch, but I heard it's very popular. So definitely, if anybody wants to post the link to her stream in the comments, just so maybe I could check it out. I really want to get back to Canada. We have our pal Mark Davis that is always in the chat. He actually works in the medical marijuana industry. I want to get up to Toronto. I want to get it back up to Niagara Falls. I think November 9th. Is it November 9th? I'm sorry, I'm so exhausted today. I had so many back-to-back meetings. But November 8th or 9th, I believe anybody that's a foreigner can come into the United States as long as they're fully vaccinated. I believe. Joe Hernandez says Twitch is owned by Amazon. Oh yeah, you're right. So Joe, who was the guy, I'm blanking on his name, that sold Twitch to Amazon for $1 billion? And I think he could have got a lot more money. I think he could have got a lot more money, but he sold Twitch to Amazon for $1 billion. Does anybody know his name? I'm blanking on his name. He does a ton of podcasts. Ken Glass says their stream is cool, just needs a gimbal. Gene says Wall Street Skate Bro special. Lou72 says Wall Street Skate Bro Mark R. Davis will hook it up. Yeah, Lou72, I'm very bullish on the medical marijuana industry. So I really want to actually get Mark Davis on the stream. And we've been talking offline a little bit about, because, you know, every day we cover a different topic on the stream, right? We usually cover finance, we talk about earnings, we talk about, you know, the latest tech, but I really want to get an expert in medical marijuana, and Mark actually does consulting with a lot of doctors in Canada in relation to medical marijuana. So I want to get them on the stream just to sort of do a back and forth, because I want to get educated in that space a little more as well for investment opportunities. So stay tuned for that. That is in the works. Oh, Justin Kahn is his name. Charlie Richardson, you're right. You're right, Charlie. Yes, so Nikon says, can you say hi to all the patient navigators and co-workers from Jamaica Hospital in Queens, please? Yes, everybody in Jamaica Hospital in Queens, New York, thank you for everything you do. You guys are fantastic, especially during this pandemic. So big ups to you guys. We support you, we thank you, and keep trucking, keep doing your thing. That's all I could say. But the Wall Street Skate Bro channel supports our, what would you say, first responders? No, they're necessary. I forget, I'm blanking on the name, but all the nurses, doctors, everybody, you guys are the best. So Jamaica Queens Hospital, thank you for everything you do. And thank you for watching. Dark Nook says, hi, how are you? Dark Nook, I'm very well. I had a lot of meetings today. Very productive, so I'm glad I came here for the business trip. Lisa says, hemp derivative that gives you a body high, says Lisa N. Yes, Layla, essential workers, there we go. Again, guys, apologize. I'm beat today. I did probably about 4 hours of straight talking and presenting and answering questions from clients today. So my mind is all jumbled up. Yes, Joe Hernandez, frontline workers. Thank you to all the frontline workers. Hey, Lisa says, will you live stream at Niagara Falls, I hope? I hope so. I really love the border between the United States and Canada up there in Buffalo. I haven't been in a long time. Whoop-de-woo says, hello, sir. What's going on? Grand Stenton says, we call them essential workers. Lou 72 says, voted medical marijuana here in South Dakota. Like 74% state government here still dragging their feet. Lou 72, it's ridiculous how far behind the 8 ball the United States is on medical marijuana. On marijuana in general, it's disgusting. And I don't smoke weed, but I see the benefits of it for medical purposes. EBITDA says, Wall Street Skate Bro, who is your broker/brokers? So my main broker is Interactive Brokers, so IB. My second one that I use, mainly I have like my retirement accounts with them, is Charles Schwab. So Interactive Brokers and Charles Schwab. What about you, EBITDA? Mercedes Diaz used to work around that area back in the day in the 1970s and 1980s. Very cool, Mercedes, very cool. Just wasting my time says, are the streets in New York City now that have Christmas lights? I believe they start putting up the Christmas lights around Thanksgiving, so not yet. EBITDA says IB is solid. Yeah, Interactive Brokers is solid. They're solid. Like if you're running, like a long short portfolio, it's good for like active portfolio management. Like that's why I keep telling people on the stream, they ask me and they want me to talk about, all the discount broker dealers like Robinhood and Webull. I just can't endorse those type of companies. They're just not an institutional platform. That's really all I could say. Disney cast member says, today is Snoop Dogg's birthday. Happy birthday, Snoop Dogg. The Swan, the one and only, says skate bro or skateboarder. Is like doing questions and answers all day, and same here tonight. No problem, the Swan. If I'm not getting to everybody's comments, it's because I'm carrying my my briefcase in one hand, so it's difficult to navigate. EBITDA says, Wall Street Skate Bro, I have outside PE investments, but everything else is held in BAML. Okay, that's dope. Kevin says, I'm a Vanguard Boglehead. Yeah, a lot of people are Bogleites. I think I'm probably a Bogleite as well, but I also have an actively managed portfolio. But I think John Bogle has done more for the retail average individual investor than anybody. Statistics show that a low-cost index one that tracks the S&P 500 will beat out 90% 90% of portfolio managers, but there are people that do beat the market, and I know some of the portfolio managers that do consistently, but by and large, for the average guy, S&P 500 low cost index fund is where it is. Disney cast members is on Instagram. Martha Stewart posted a video of her feeding Snoop Dogg a cupcake. Yo, I think they're homies, aren't they? Disney cast member? I think they're really good friends. Martha Stewart and Snoop Dogg. Hey, Steve Blades, how are you, my friend? Good to see you, Steve Blades. Alan Mays is almost making me homesick. Almost, says Alan. Jake says, hi, my name is Jake. I am 11. I'm from Austin, and I learn a lot from you about New York City. It's pretty. Thank you. Bye. Hey, Jake, you're a good guy. Just Wasting Time says, do you know where Lindsay Lohan's apartment is? I do not. I do not. Hey, British Gray, the one and only from Tampa, Florida, says, good Wednesday evening, Tom. How was your day? My day was very long. I'm not gonna lie, long day, but productive day. That's all that matters. But I'll be in Brooklyn tomorrow. I have a couple of other meetings in Brooklyn. Hey, George is here, says, hi, Tom. Looks like temperature dropped significantly in a matter of a couple weeks in New York City. I'm actually sweating. Maybe it's just because I'm tired, but I'm actually sweating in my coat, in my jacket. Spencer says, why is the Empire State green tonight? I'm not sure. I'm not sure, Spencer. Hey, Miguel. What's up, Miguel? Gene says, Wall Street Scaper in New York City is a special city because of Lady Liberty and the Empire State Building. Do you agree? I agree. Sharon M says, I love New York City. What's up, Sharon? Lou72 says, marijuana cupcakes. EBITDA says, Vanguard ex-COO is my dad's next door neighbor. Get out of here. That's crazy. He took over a Vanguard with 500 million in AUM and retired with 3 trillion AUM. He's a beast, and dinners are always interesting with them. Well, EBITDA, if you guys are ever in New York, hit me up. Hit me up. EBITDA always comes in here with some fascinating stories. I believe EBITDA's dad, what was I gonna say? Worked with Steven Schwartzman. So every time we pass by the Steven Schwartzman library, it always makes me think of that story that EBITDA came on here and told us. So Steven Schwartzman made the majority of his money in LBOs, and LBOs is an acronym for leveraged buyouts on Wall Street. So he has a great book that's out too. Steven Schwartzman, great book. EBITDA says, Wall Street Scaperow, yeah, we will have to grab drinks in Miami and New York City. 100%, man. Anytime you're in Miami, let me know. If you need a place to stay, let me know. So I'm actually on tenant, I'm looking for tenants now. So that should be an experience. Keep you guys updated on that. Hey, Lena Sandoval says, hello, Tom, how are you? I'm very good, Lena. Hope you're having a great evening. Taco Stack says, looks busy. Looks busy. Root says, where are you in Manhattan? So we are about to be at a park called Madison Square Park. And this is near the Flatiron District. So you're gonna see the Flatiron building. But the only thing, it's covered in scaffolding. So we may not be able to see it very, very well. But we're on 5th Avenue, headed towards East 24th Street. Right now coming up on East 27th Street and 5th, headed towards Madison Square Park. One of my favorite parks in the city. Joe Hernandez is the Swan. We missed you. Always miss the Swan. This is a good view of the Empire State Building too. Check it out. Granado says, hi from Costa Rica. EBITDA says, Wall Street, Steve has legendary Christmas parties, at least the ones I attended. That's awesome, EBITDA. That's awesome, man. Send me over an invite. I'm just kidding, just kidding. Kenneth said, I heard there's a lot of marijuana companies set up on the streets in New York City. So I think, I'm not sure, but I heard this from Boogie Bob, and I believe him, because Boogie Bob he's feet on the street. He knows this stuff. I think all the marijuana carts, like the little trucks that you see parked on the side of the road in New York, I don't think they have any THC in them. I think they're frauds. I think it's only that CBD. So they claim to be actual edibles with THC. But I don't think they do have them. I don't think it's legal. I think it's only just, they're not real edibles. But I heard that on one of his streams. I could be wrong, but then again, I've never bought anything from those guys, and I probably never will, just because I don't use marijuana. But that's what I heard. EBITDA says you are 100% correct. The carts are frauds. Yeah, I thought so. I didn't want to like say 100% they're frauds. You know, if they're watching them. But just kidding. I've seen quite a few of those trucks in the city. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, right? They have like all the weed logos on them, but I really don't think they're even allowed to sell real edibles. I think it's probably just that CBD stuff that you can get at like the drugstore. I think you can get CBD. Yeah, EBITDA says zero cannabis in those products. Okay. What's the difference between THC and the other thing? So CBD is not, what's the terminology, guys? You could help me out in the chat. It's not the drug, but it's called something. THC is the thing that gets you high, essentially. So when you smoke weed, THC is what makes you feel high. CBD is not. Yes, EBITDA, psychoactive. Got it. You're right. Kevin, you're right. EBITDA, you're right. I'm not an expert in it, so I'm actually gonna probably refrain from talking about it. I'm not a marijuana expert, but I definitely want to get Mark Davis on here because he is, and he's actually doing some phenomenal work in the medical marijuana space. EBITDA says Delta 9 is THC, Delta 8 is derived from CBD. Hey, Marty Lewis is here. It says THC is what makes you high. I use CBD cream on my knee. No THC. Copy that. Kilo says CDP doesn't make you. Yeah, so THC is the active agent that makes you high. Got it. Hello, greetings from Peru, says Veronica. What's up, Veronica? Sunnyside says Empire State is green for Robin Hood Foundation. Great but hard to find documentary on super trader Paul Tudor Jones, Robin Hood founder. Yeah, Paul Tudor Jones, we were just talking about Paul Tudor Jones in regards to Bitcoin. I believe Paul Tudor Jones made an appearance on CNBC today talking about the greatest threat to the average retail family or the average retail investor is inflation. I would have to agree with Paul Tudor Jones. And to use his words, Bitcoin is the fastest horse in the race, and we just blew past all-time record highs. So if you want to stay up to date on the markets, I write a free newsletter on my community page. You can go to Wall Street Skate Bro community page and read the Behind the Street newsletter where we talk about economics from the macro and the micro level. So feel free to check that out. EBITDA says always agree with Paul Tudor Jones. Yeah, I mean, the guy is just legendary trader. Legendary size trader too. Bernie says, I'm from UK. Salisbury Cathedral has its iconic spire green to show local support for reducing climate change. That's awesome, Bernie. If you have any pictures of that, please put that in the chat. Kevin Sunderland says, saw the interview. It was a great interview. Alexandria says, hey Tom, it's green tonight in honor of the Robin Hood Foundation. Modern Picasso says, you think psychedelics will be a booming industry? Yes, I do think so. I think psychedelics will be a massive industry. Even though I don't use any of these products, but I just know that disruption comes in all shapes and sizes, so I don't want to be on the wrong side of history. So I'm a big supporter of marijuana for medical purposes. I think it's ridiculous that we would pour so much money into synthetic drugs or synthetics, but ban and make it illegal and launch a war on drugs to marijuana. It seems quite perplexing to me, and that's coming from a person that doesn't smoke weed and has never smoked weed. So Bob Yaga says, love microdosing mushrooms, excellent for PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder. Yeah, I mean, look, I think the research is there, and I think there's going to be more R&D and more research and more dollars that go into this. Feigu says, looks like it's raining all week, all next week. Obama says, gateway drug. Brandy says, agree, Tom. I too have never smoked either. Yeah, I mean, if the research shows that it actually helps people, like especially people that were in the military coming home with PTSD, and if THC is actually helping these people, I would rather have them be on that than all of these synthetic drugs manufactured by drug companies. Bobby Yaga says, the evidence is in. Brandy, how are you? Paolo says, the good news, I don't need money to travel to New York. I only need to watch you live. Hey, thank you. Appreciate that. Kenneth says, where can I sign up to volunteer for these studies? Anyone know? Actually, you could probably contact a clinical trial company. So my brother is a biomedical engineer, and he actually left Biogen. So my brother left a company called Biogen, where he was actually manufacturing drugs for Alzheimer's. And now my brother left to go work at a startup, and I think he's the number 4 employee at a startup that runs decentralized clinical trials. And they're doing a lot of great work. So shout out to the team over there. I won't say the company's name just because, but they are raising money. So this is Madison Square Park. Beautiful here. Alan Mays says, love New York, but minority professionals do better in Atlanta. Is that true? I didn't know that. EBITDA says, Wall Street Scaperoad, did Biogen's AZ drug get approval? I'm not sure about that, honestly. I'm not sure. So EBITDA, I think I've talked about it before on the channel. Biotech is the one place that I won't invest in, mainly just because I'm so ignorant when it comes to that. And I think it's way too volatile because the majority, especially like a startup biotech company, the majority of its revenue is dependent on one individual drug, right? So let's say if that drug goes through stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, and then the FDA squanders it, you see a lot of these biotech stocks drop 90% overnight just off of an FDA approval going south. So I don't think I'm that well versed in biotech in order to do that, but there is a lot of money to be made in the rare disease drug companies. And not to go down too much of a rabbit hole with Martin Shkreli, but Martin Shkreli was in the business with Turing Pharmaceuticals to buy out very old drugs that treat very rare diseases, and there's a lot of money in that. EBITDA says, yeah, I won't touch biotech without inside info. Funny, EBITDA. Hey, JK is here. It says, hey, Tom, and hey, Sunshine. What's up, JK? Hope you're well. Layda says, loving that your bro is in research. Thank you, Layda. Hey, Sally is here. Says, nice view, Tom. Beautiful night. So we are here in Madison Square Park at the Shake Shack. I've actually never eaten at the Shake Shack. Actually, maybe one time I did. Kenneth says, sweet man, definitely will look into it. Veronica's here. Modern Picasso says, yeah, I'm not a fan of biotech. It's too risky, not worth the trouble. I think it's just that I know my strengths and weaknesses. I'm a software guy, I'm a tech guy. I'm not smart enough to know which drug is gonna get FDA approval. I'm not smart enough to know which clinical trial is gonna be successful and which one's not. It's just not my wheelhouse. And I think that as an investor, if you can come to terms and be honest with yourself and say, look, you know, I don't know about this. I'm ignorant about that, and not invest in that. I think you're probably gonna, you know, generate significant alpha over your investment career. Hey, Trev says, coal is the goal. Hunter Butler says, I like Martin. I think he's got a raw deal, says Hunter Butler. We could go down a rabbit hole, Hunter Butler, about Martin Shkreli for hours. And I think we dedicated an entire stream to Martin Shkreli, breaking down the whole debacle about toxoplasmosis and encephalitis. Hey, Bernie says, I'm from the 70s. I did things that had letters like E or L or SD. In the 90s, life is good. Love seeing what you are doing. Also have worked for a few pharma companies. That's awesome, man. I've never done LSD, but that's new. The thing talks to you. It's like cross 23rd Street. I'm like, I think we got it, pal. EBITDA says you got to stick with what you know. Spreading yourself out too much is a bad idea. Martin is a legend, though. So speaking of Harambe, if anybody wants a good laugh, and I'm not to get political here, but if you want a really good laugh, go on YouTube, which we're already on YouTube, and type in Martin Shkreli Harambe interview. They were essentially interviewing Martin Shkreli on Harambe, and they were grilling him on why he was trolling so much on Twitter in regards to Harambe. AJ says Martin went to a college near me. Martin Shkreli went to Baruch College here in New York. But what a lot of people don't understand is a lot of these drug companies kill hundreds of thousands of animals a year for their trials and for their testing. So it was just a hilarious interview. Check it out. But what I think, so Martin Shkreli didn't do anything wrong in relation to raising the price of the life-saving drug. And I'll explain why. But he did do something wrong by taking profits from his drug company to pay back his investors in his hedge fund. You're not allowed to do that, and that's securities fraud. So he should have gone to jail for that. But what I think is that since Martin Shkreli was such a troll, they came after him, and they came after him hard, because you have to understand something. In the rare disease drug market, the drug was called Daraprim that he bought. And the drug actually it wasn't an AIDS medicine. It went to treat something called toxoplasmosis. And it's essentially where your urine turns black and you die. And it's an extremely, extremely rare disease. And this drug Daraprim goes towards treating that. So essentially the drug was so out of date, it really wasn't working well to treat toxoplasmosis. So his company bought the drug, I think for like $15 or $16 million, and then raised the price of that drug, and the profits they were rolling all into R&D. So R&D in the industry, it's an industry term for research and development. So the only way that you're going to get a new drug for a rare disease is if a rare disease drug company buys the drug, raises the price, and uses the proceeds for research and development. All of these big drug companies like Biogen, AstraZeneca, they're not going to spend money and resources to provide a brand new drug that only goes to treat a couple hundred people. They're going after the big hitters like the Viagras, the allergy medicines that millions of people take because that's the profit center. So what it creates a very, very niche market for rare disease drug companies to go in there, buy these drugs, raise the price significantly, and use those proceeds towards developing a new drug. And essentially, it's not hurting these patients when you're raising the price, because the insurance companies pay for it. What you could say is that you're screwing the insurance companies, which is essentially true, but it's such a small portion of all drug expenses in the United States, it really doesn't make an impact. So that is my take on Martin Shkreli. So I'm not hating on him for raising the price of the drug. I actually think that's actually a good thing to do, so these patients get a new drug. But where he went wrong was using profits from the drug company to pay off a failed hedge fund, and that is securities fraud. Hey, John Connor's here. What's up, John Cotter? Obama says cure AIDS before diabetes. Big Pharma doesn't want public to know existing cures for many diseases. Conspiracy, maybe. We'll see. Laytha says animal testing is unethical in my opinion. Those poor animals suffer so much. When I was 20, I worked at a medical school on campus and was just heartbreaking. Wow. Yeah, I could imagine, Laytha. I mean, it's definitely... What do you think the alternative is? How else could we test these drugs if not to test them on animals? Like, what is the other alternative? Because I definitely agree with you and your thesis about we shouldn't be testing on animals because it's unethical. I don't want to harm any animals, right? So I'm with you, but what do you think could be an alternative for testing these drugs? Because we can't just test them on humans. But I think you make a good point. Hey, the one and only Super Friends in the City is here. What's up, Super Friends in the City? Lost in Curve says he could have still used the old drug at the old price. Well, the reason why he couldn't is because then there's no profit margin in there. And then the people who are suffering from this disease doesn't get a new drug. So the drug that they were taking, Daraprim, wasn't really working well to treat the disease anymore. So they need a new drug. And in order to get a new drug, you need to invest money into research and development. Oxygen therapies can cure many diseases. Very interesting. Edson says, hey dude, what's up, bro? What's up, Edson? War Walker says, humans. How are you, War Walker? SRJJ says, hi Tom, hi chat. Bernie says, once you had toxoplasmosis, you cannot catch it again. This is Bernie Williams. Toxoplasmosis normally get better on their own within about 6 weeks, says Bernie Williams. Wasn't Bernie Williams one of the greatest Yankee baseball players that ever lived? I remember the name Bernie Williams. Isn't that ringing a bell? If anybody's a baseball fan in the chat, please let me know. Wasn't Bernie Williams a former Yankee? I think he was the greatest, one of the greatest to ever do it. Obama says Martin Shkreli bought the Wu-Tang album for $2 million. Bernie Williams says, I was. Oh, we have Bernie Williams in the chat. Hilarious. War Walker says, test them on murderers and humans. Oof, I don't know about that. Hey, Mary J says, what part of town are you in now? So we are coming up on Union Square. So right now we are exactly on East 20th Street and Broadway, headed towards Union Square. Hey, Roy is here, says, evening Tom and everybody. Congratulations on exceeding 5,000 subscribers. Thank you so much, everybody really who's been joining in the streams, joining in the chat. I really do appreciate everybody who's been supporting the channel, because without the chat, there's no Wall Street Skate Bro show. I learn a lot from you guys. I appreciate you guys very much. And yeah, much appreciated, guys. So thank you so much. Sunnyside says, Chris Rock, no money in the cure. The money is in the comeback. That's how drug dealers make their money. That's actually pretty, wow, that's deep. Wow. Hey, Talbot says, Wall Street Skate Bro, hey man, hope all is well. I'm glad you had a great trip back to New York. I did, thank you. Thank you so much. Jimbo says, Ted Williams. What's going on, Jimbo? Talbot, hope you're good. Lisa says, Earthling, move with Phoenix. All right. Making sure I didn't miss any of the comments. British Gray says, yes, you are right. Bernie Williams was a phenomenal baseball player within the Yankees. What position did he play? He wasn't a shortstop, right? Wasn't he, I think he was a center fielder, outfielder? But that was when the Yankees, and I'm not a big baseball fan, but that was when the Yankees were great. Like with Jorge Posada. Jorge Posada was the catcher for the Yankees. All those guys, those were such good guys, man. Did anybody watch the Derek Jeter induction into the Hall of Fame? That was a great speech that Derek Jeter gave. I enjoyed that. And I'm not a baseball fan by any means. I don't know anything about baseball. I suck at baseball. But those guys were great. Bernie Williams, Jorge Posada. Those guys were great. Ken Kramer, Derek Jeter. Oh, Kenneth says, yes, he was an outfielder. JK says center field. Nice. Ramon says, thank you from Brazil. What's going on? Nicole says, good day from Sydney, Australia. Hope you're well. I hope Australia is opening back up. So I'm very curious to hear about Australia, because everything that we're hearing in the United States is that Australia is on lockdown. Everybody has to stay in their house, and people are getting arrested for just going outside. Really crazy. Kenneth says the old Yankee Stadium was a friggin' classic. Sad they built a new stadium. I think I have to agree with you. So Kenneth, when I was young, I went to, I think it's called Monument Park at the old Yankee Stadium, and it was awesome, man. I really had a good time with that. Taga Kale says, hello, friends on the stream. Taga Kale, how are you? Joe Hernandez says, wow, 5,000 subscribers already. I remember I was number 438. Wow, Joe Hernandez, well, it's a pleasure to have you along for the stream, Joe. Always good to have you here. accident 158 this morning here in the Philippines. Welcome from the Philippines. British Grace's outfielder and hitter Derek Jeter was a shortstop. Bernie Williams, great player. I love New York City, says Rayan. I love it too. Joe Hernandez, hope you're well. So everybody, the theme of the stream, we don't have a specific topic because I was very busy with business meetings all day today. But the one thing that I will say is that Bitcoin hit a new all-time record high today. And we talked a lot about that on the Behind the Street newsletter. We talked about how the price action in Bitcoin and Ethereum is signaling a second wave of inflation in the United States. I think consumers, American consumers, are going to be hit with a second wave. This is not only in terms of commodities price action, but if we listen to CEOs of the big Fortune 500 companies, they're actually saying on their earnings calls to investors that their prices are going up and that they're not going to eat those costs. They're going to pass those costs on to consumers. So in order to preserve the EPS or the earnings of the company, when prices go up, oftentimes these big companies won't keep their prices the same to consumers. What they do is they take the aggregate and they just pass those prices right on to the consumers. And I even do that in my business. I am even, unfortunately, I'm forced to do that in my business too, because we are in a global semiconductor shortage. So oftentimes I'm working with a big customer that needs category 6 routers. But in these specific routers that I have to procure for the customer, my chips that go into manufacturing these at the OEM tripled. Just the price of the semiconductors alone have tripled. So I have to unfortunately pass that cost on to my customer just so I can be whole in my profit margin. So inflation is a real thing. I think it's a good danger to the American consumer, just as Paul Tudor Jones said today on CNBC. John Allen says, hello, we epileptic. I would love medical marijuana. Oh, you're an epileptic. That's terrible. Yeah, I mean, if medical marijuana will cure you, dude, I mean, I'm all for it. I'm all for medical marijuana. Gene, yes, New York City resident. So Gene is asking about the vaccination card. So in order to eat inside in New York City, you do need to show proof of vaccination. JK says, remember, Bitcoin is not a currency, it is an asset. Zap Allen says, oh my God, Tom, I just saw, congrats on your 5K, 10K next. Thank you, Zap Allen, I appreciate it. Zap Allen is a true OG of the Wall Street Scapegoat stream. I very much appreciate Zap Allen. British Grace is Tom, that if I'm not mistaken, Tesla net worth is $600 million. Are you talking about their market cap? Are you talking about their market capitalization? Because I think it's a lot more than that. Or are you talking about their revenues? Nicole says, in Australia, a man is looking at jail time for breaching health order due to COVID. That is insane. I hope you're well, Nicole. I really do hope you're well. Staying safe over there in Aussie land. Gene says, thank you. No problem, Gene. Nicole says, we finally came out of lockdown in Sydney on Monday. Melbourne come out of lockdown at midnight tonight. And yes, people getting arrested for being out, says Nicole. See, I don't agree with that. I'm not going to get too political, but look, I don't agree with arresting people for just being outside. I mean, come on, that's craziness. What are we doing there? Hey, Dogman, the one and only, says, not sure I know Tesla beat estimates today. They did, Dogman. The biggest takeaway I had from Tesla earnings was their margins, because Elon Musk was telling analysts that he promises 30% margins by the end of the quarter. He delivered on that. However, the gross margin was about 30%. 30% margins with tax credits. With carbon credits. Without credits, it was about 28%. Still phenomenal in a global pandemic to deliver those type of margins. So kudos to Tesla, kudos to Elon Musk, and the show goes on. Marty Lewis says, we are always okay with going outside during a pandemic in New York. Look, I'm vaccinated. I'm fully vaccinated. You know, that's what vaccines are for. You get the vaccine, then you can live your life as normal. I think anything, if the government is trying to overreach on its citizens and lock them down, I think that's terrible. Hey, Vladimir says, I'm going to America. Dude, welcome. You're going to love it here in America. Toss says, what's up? What's up, Toss? Always good to see you, my friend. Storm Chaser says, something happening here in Jamaica because of DRMA. Lisa says, I just checked. There are 3 alternatives to animal testing, but often are not used, says Lisa. Vladimir, welcome to America. R.Y. Davis says, and big fines. Bernie Williams says, really need a card to eat? Shocking. What is shocking? If you look at UK, they have just given up with the C thing and just get on with it. I agree. George says, not that anyone cares, but I'm fixing a killer salmon and goat cheese sandwich for later dinner while enjoying the stream. George, I care about that, pal. I care about that. That's awesome, man. Enjoy. Hey, Jermaine Smith says, blessings from Jamaica. Thank you, all of our Jamaican viewers. We love Jamaica here on the channel. Love Jamaica here. Schwanky says, I know so many fully vaccinated people who got COVID. Yeah, I mean, that's called life, Swanky Yankee. And not to be blunt about it, but that's life. You know, you get the flu shot every year, you could still get the flu. The point of the vaccine is that if you get the vaccine, you're not going to die and you're not going to go into the hospital. You just need to, you know, I don't want to be too blunt about it. You know, get the vaccine. If you get COVID, you can't live under a rock. Okay, if you keep watching Fox News, if you keep watching CNN, you're never going to pick your head up. You're never going to crawl out from under the bed. You got to crawl out from under the bed and you got to live your life. You can't be scared all the time about this COVID thing. Get the vaccine, you're good. That's what vaccines are for. That's modern medicine. Bernie says, yes, agree, vaccinated and had it twice. Yeah, look, I get the flu shot and I get the flu sometimes, but I just don't get the flu as bad. Hey, the one and only Fang New York is here. Says, hey, Tom, nice to see you in New York City again. Thank you so much. Caddy says, reducing the amount of circulating virus is how you stop a pandemic, says Caddy. Layla says, so many people have no idea what vaccines do, sadly. The Mighty Bull says, does experimental mean anything? Paolo says, are you a doctor? No, I work in tech. Kenneth says, what's the point of a vaccine if they get it anyways? Absolutely nothing, in my opinion, says Kenneth. So I get it, everybody, but I guess just the point I was trying to make is that the government cannot keep locking citizens down if the majority, right? That's just ridiculous. That's crazy. That's my opinion, but I think we need to actually cool it on the vaccine talk because the overlords. But again, I respect everybody's opinion, whether you're pro-vax or anti-vax. I think I respect people's freedom of choice. I don't think the government should mandate vaccines. I got the vaccine because that was my personal choice as an American. I have no business telling anybody else what to do. So that's my take on it. Paolo, no, I'm not a researcher and I'm not a doctor. I get your point. Yeah, there's a lot of side effects to the vaccines. Look, I wasn't happy about getting it either, but it's like, you know, it's a mess. Yeah, Ian says Pandora's box, Tom. Now we're rocking in the comments. But again, I apologize if I upset anybody, but look, those are my personal viewpoints. I do appreciate and respect everybody's diverse viewpoints. You're more than happy to have them. And I respect it. If you don't want to get the vax, I don't think you should have to. If you want to get it, by all means, you should have to. Or you should, that's your right as a citizen. But I respect everybody's opinions on it, and we can all get along. So now we are in Union Square here. Hopefully we'll see a lot of skateboarders here. I used to skateboard around this park all the time. Bernie Williams says, I agree, take right to do or not. Hey, photos from around New York says, how did the S&P 500 do today? We did our, so we're literally inches off of all-time record highs. I think we're a little extended because right after the financial earnings, we were off to the races. That was the bottom in this market, and we were off to the races. So, you know, we've gone up about 6%. So I would like a little bit of a pullback into the closing of the week. I don't know if we're going to get that. Something tells me we are going to blow through all-time record highs off the back of some solid earnings reports. But hopefully we will have a conclusive stream to recap all of the earnings on Wall Street. I've just been very, very busy, but in the newsletter we wrote about it. Hey, check out all these people on the roller skates, guys. This is kind of cool. And I'll catch up on the comments. Sunnyside, those stairs are legendary skate spot. Oh man, I've fallen many times on these stairs. Bernie Williams says, by the way, love the quality of the video. What are you using camera-wise? We are using the iPhone 11. Hey, Quants, is that... what's up, Quants? R.Y. Davis says, wow, the city still has many beautiful people out. Nice, says R.Y. Davis. Hey, Realty by Land says, hi, Tom, just checking in. Not to intercept the Vax convo. But the Dow did good today in the S&P. But not the NASDAQ. What do you think? Yeah, Realty, we covered a lot about that in the stream. But the main point of the stream tonight, Bitcoin hit a new all-time record high. New all-time record highs. So my view is still before the end of the year, I think we're going to get a new all-time record high in the S&P 500, a new all-time high in the NASDAQ, and the Dow should follow in short order. However, I think we do have some concerns about the interest rate environment. So as we talked a lot about on the stream before, a rising interest rate environment is actually negative for tech stocks because when analysts do their financial modeling on software companies or big mega cap tech stocks with extraordinary PE ratios and high frothy valuations, they're predicated based on future earnings of the company, right? Future earnings of the company. And when you have interest rates going up, those earnings are actually worth less in the future today, if that makes sense. So a low interest rate environment is very good for high valuation tech companies. When we see interest rates go up, we usually see a rotation into more value names. And that's because earnings are discounted into the future. That's why analysts on Wall Street do something that's called a discounted cash flow model, right? So when all of these tech companies are predicated on massive earnings in the future, when rates go up in the short term, those earnings are now worth less. So that's why I think the NASDAQ is lagging a little bit, because we've had that 10-year yield rise right to about that 1.7% mark. Zap Balance says, I just ordered an iPhone 13 Pro, but might change that to an iPhone 11 because your phone streams are so clear. Jay says, hello, super friend. Yes, we have Fernando. Fernando, are you working tonight? Good to see you. Obama says, how can they raise rates? U.S. government budget would be crazy. I don't think they will. I don't think they will raise rates. I think Fed Chair Jerome Powell is stuck between a rock and a hard place. And what I think he's going to do is continue to move those goalposts. It's going to be called moving goalposts. So I don't think he's going to taper. And even if they do taper, I actually think the market's going to go up off the back of that. But we'll talk about that later. Brandy says, I love the way you explain that, Tom. Thanks. No problem. No problem. If you want a more in-depth explanation on securities analysis, there's a phenomenal professor at New York University called Aswad Damodaran, and he is a professor at the business school, the Stern Business School here at NYU. Great guy. He's as seen on CNBC. He's a securities analysis professor at NYU, Damodaran, and he has a YouTube channel where he actually posts a lot of his lectures for free. And he also has a book out that you can buy off of Amazon for like $3. and he'll teach you how to make discounted cash flow models, how to evaluate companies, and do in-depth securities analysis. So check out Demoderan. But everybody, hey, Techno Pink, dude. So Techno Pink is a consultant at Ernst & Young from the Dominican Republic. So shout out to everybody from the Dominican Republic and our pal Techno Pink. Vladimir says, I'm going to Los Angeles. Have a good time. Sally, how are you? Hey, Ireva says, hi, Tom. I've been listening. I have to go. Have a good evening. Thank you, Irevis. Nicole says, I don't understand anything you're saying, but I love your accent. Thank you, Nicole. Realty by Lance is very nice. Looking forward to all-time highs. Realty by Lance, I'll be back in Miami on Monday night. All right, everybody, my phone is on 10% battery. Diana Lee, I see you. Bernie Williams, what's going on? The Swan, how are you? My phone is on 10% battery. I do have to go now. I got to catch a train. I got to be up early. I got to go to Brooklyn. I'll be in the Bensonhurst neighborhood of Brooklyn tomorrow. Trying to close some deals, get things done. You know, we got to do what we got to do. But I just want to leave you off with this. I really do appreciate everybody. I really mean that. I appreciate everybody that's been, subscribing to the channel, interacting in the chat. So thank you all. I learn a lot from you guys each and every day. So I appreciate the conversations. I appreciate you guys being so kind. And just remember, you guys are what make this stream great, not me. If there was nobody to talk to, we couldn't have these great conversations. So I really do want to show my appreciation to everybody. Super friends in the city, thank you. The Swan, the one and only, the Mighty Bull. These statues are great. They look like they're 3D printed. They're phenomenal. So cool. Yeah, so this one is George. No. This one is the one and only John Lewis. American hero John Lewis here. Hey, Jay says, love you, man. Thank you. Love you too. Disney cast member, thank you for the gift. Please check our pal Disney cast member out. Everybody, I got to walk back to Penn Station, and I have to use my phone as my Long Island Railroad ticket. So if you're interested in this sort of content, feel free to subscribe to the channel. We go live almost every day. We talk about finance, investing, and tech. Usually on the weekends, we just sort of hang out. And every Sunday night, I write a free financial newsletter called Behind the Street, where we talk about economics, earnings season, and all the above. Latha, thank you so much. Patrick, New York, thank you for joining. Ryan, Royal, Joey, the Swan, Sally, Destructionist. Yes, I will be streaming tomorrow. Latha, Two Wheel Pines, War Walker, as always. Good to see you, War Walker. Fang, New York, Obama, the Swan, Photos from Around New York, MB, EBITDA, Zap Allen, Jay Bless, Penelope, our pal Penelope. Thank you, everybody. 48, Out and About, the one and only Out and About. Check her out. She's from Toronto, Canada. Very nice. Shadow King says, is that George Floyd? No. This is John Lewis. So John Lewis is an American hero, civil rights movement. This is the Breonna Taylor. I think they're called busts. I actually don't think they're called statues. I think Latha educated me on it. They're called busts. So that is the Breonna Taylor one. This is the John Lewis one, American hero right here. And this is George Floyd. And if you guys want to see these, you can take the 456 train, NQR, or the L to Union Square and see these. I'm not sure how long they're going to be up, but very cool nonetheless. They look to be 3D printed, so very, very nice. So check them out. But I do have to go, everybody. Joe Hernandez says they are busts. Got it. Copy that. So everybody, I'll see you later. So Joe Hernandez, Sunnyside Disney cast member. Kenneth, appreciate it. This is Canada. Says show Floyd. George Floyd is on this side. Sorry, I had my back turned. Apologize. Sunnyside, Sally, everybody. Sunshine after rain. Thank you, all the moderators. You create a fantastic environment. Truckerette, thank you so much, Sally. And I will see you all in the next one very, very soon. Have a good one.